Ladies and gentlemen, you remember the opening lines of Superman? And who disguised as Clark Kent, a mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper? And then he takes off his glasses and his hat and then his hair changes to a different, persona. Well, sometimes some of the icons I put up as thumbnails remind me of Superman, because what we're going to talk about today are some very pertinent topics to what's going on YouTube. We're going to talk a little bit about cyber stalking libel laws, and the criteria that has to be met when you are in fact implying that someone is cyber stalking you. Another topic that we're going to talk about is that if a channel creator allows trolls on his channel, that channel creator is liable or accountable, in my opinion, but also the opinion of the so-called cyber stalking laws, for what the channel commenters say. So, for instance, if you have a commenter that says, "I'm going to Bahal and I'll see what Fazio has to say," or Fazio has to say in person, and then you go, "Well, that's up to you, but I don't advocate violence." If you say something like that, what in fact you should have done was remove the troll and say, "Don't talk about things like that on my channel." So there is different criteria for cyber stalking. Now, another attribute of cyber stalking and the criteria that has to be met in cyber stalking is the announcement of some sort of slander or maligning of character by using a person's first name, middle name, and last name. That would be a really, really good foundation for cyber stalking. But you can use innuendo, like for instance, if someone constantly posts word descriptions as the professor from Bahal, or the Shack guy, or the Bill guy, and everyone knows that my home page has been the dollar bill, and in fact, I have multiple challenges all over the world to all the world's leading experts to debate me on the pictographs on the dollar bill. Everyone knows that pretty much Michael Fazio is the dollar bill guy. So you could connect the dots, so to speak, by saying things of that nature. Now, if you allow trolls on your channel, which I do not, and I could read you from my page the letter that I sent out to my moderators: don't allow trolls on the channel. As soon as someone says another person's name, gone. As soon as someone implies the name of another person's channel, gone. As soon as someone starts talking about my ex-girlfriend, gone. These are all things that have nothing to do with today's topic or live stream matter. So that's a troll. But to allow someone to constantly come on your channel and say, Dilly May, Fazio, the Shack guy, the guy who lives in a CR, those are all comments that have been noted, recorded, documented, and they are pertinent to allowing someone to slander myself. First of all, whatever my abode is, whatever my domicile is, to depict it as a shack or a chicken coop, well, it's not much that I live in, and it was supposed to be temporary housing, but that's besides the point. To come on and constantly say that I live in a filthy, bacteria-infested environment with gonococcal bacteria, run on my countertop. I mean, do you even know what gonococcal bacteria is? I could tell you what it is, but it's a bacteria that grows inside the womb of a woman. So how would gonococcal bacteria get on my countertop? I don't really know, but if you say things of that nature, be held accountable for those things. Now, those statements. But what I do know is when you start mentioning people's first, middle, and last name, and then calling them outright a liar, possibly a narcissist, and possibly the world's greatest liar, with no proof whatsoever, that is, in fact, brought to a cyber libel lawyer. So if you want to get in touch with a cyber libel lawyer, you can do so by going to your Google and Google cyber libel lawyer and the state or country that which you live in. Now, Warren Hunt has done that and is now working with a cyber libel lawyer. He's being, in my opinion, and the opinion of his current advocate in cyber libel, he is, in the opinion of more than one person, probably 3 to 5 at this point, he is being cyber stalked. Warren Hunt is, by name, by channel, and by video technique. So these are things that you can Google cyber libel lawyer, and then you could Google the criteria for cyber libel, and it will give you what needs to be said. Now, if someone just says, well, you know, that guy, well, that guy, who's that guy? That guy. But if you go, Michael Thomas Fazio is a liar, that's a whole different level of criteria. That is what they're looking for. So then, of course, if you have, in addition to that evidence, if you have video and or audio files of the evidence in question, that's even better. That's even more, more proof. So you people that come on YouTube and start spouting off people's names and their channels and the names of their videos, the names of their girlfriends, the shack guy, the dollar bill guy, the professor in the hall, the guy's never going to build a hotel. Those are all traceable back to my channel. So if you think you can do that, and you have done that in the past, I would think again as to whether or not it's legal. But we'll find that out in the near future, hopefully in the near future. Oh, we have Chi Corsaz, the biggest loser on YouTube, Chi Corsaz. She looks like she's lost about 10 kilos. She's looking good. Welcome to the machine, Chi Corsaz. So Chi Corsaz is going to be involved with something like this as well. There is right now, without giving too many details, there are several people working from different angles to defend themselves. We'll just say that they're going to defend themselves legally. And one of them is myself, and the second one is my partner in the building of the hotel, Warren Hunt, who is being decimated on YouTube in multiple different ways. I should read you what is considered cyber libel, and then I'll let you guys decide what is cyber libel. So we have this, we have that, we have this. Cyber stalking lawyers. All right. I had it up on my screen. Hold on. I want to open up a page here. Okay, it says I'm gonna give you the link to this so that you guys can be clear on this. You can go to this page that I'm going to give you the link for. I'm going to post the link 3 times, and then on this page, it's going to describe what is cyber libel, what are the tenets, or what are the prerequisites to go forward, move forward with cyber libels. But I'm just going to read you one paragraph on this page. What is cyber stalking with example? All right, I'll show it to you. Well, I really don't want to move this camera, but I'm going to do it anyway. What is cyber stalking with example? And I'll open it up. And it says, cyber stalking involves using electronic means, including the internet, to stalk or harass a person or group of people. Cyber stalking, this is the important part of this paragraph. Cyber stalking can include many things, including threats. That would be one of your trolls saying that he's coming to Bahal to see Fazio in person. Solicitation for sex. I don't think that one happened. False accusations. That's pretty much a common denominator. Defamation, slander, libel, identity theft, and vandalism. So with the link I provided, you guys can go to that page and see what consists or what constitutes cyber libel. So that's that topic at this point. I'll read the comments, but that topic is pretty much ended. Hello, Michael, and everyone in the chat from Warren H. Eureka from Jack Thompson. Eureka, the Klondike Kid. Klondike was a place in, I think, Canada that was a very famous mining town for gold. And one thing you should know about Jack Thompson, aside from being a contractor his whole life, a licensed general contractor, is that Jack Thompson's money-making abilities when he wasn't doing contracting in the winters of Boston and wherever he is he is an expert on gold. Actually, he is an expert on gold. So I was talking to Jack Thompson this morning, and we were talking about the value of gold, and we were talking about the value, what they call, what was the name of that? Spot gold, I think it was, and how much gold is an ounce. And we were also talking about whether or not Jack believes the gold is going to go up. Now, there are lots of people on YouTube that are posting videos that gold is going to go to $5,000 an ounce. I don't see that happening. It was $1,800 an ounce, and back in 2012, it went up to $1,800 an ounce. But I don't think it'll ever go much further than that. I think once it went up to another $1,000 an ounce for a few short weeks, everybody sold off their gold, and then it went back down. Now, there's another topic about silver. Silver was supposed to be the metal to buy back in the 1970s. Everybody was doing everything they could to get silver. Lurch, who was a friend of mine, and he would take the x-rays and the chemicals from doctors and dentists and companies that processed x-rays, and somehow inside those solutions, if you went through a cracking process, you could get the silver out of that. And he would go to these places, but he was working some really caustic stuff. And he said that silver at the time was $12 and it was going to go up to $50 an ounce. Well, that never happened. And he spent years collecting silver, probably sold it for less money than it was worth. Now, this week's price of silver went up to $19. So since 1977 to today, that would be 43 years ago. In 43 years, the price of silver went up 50%. I would not suggest to buy silver as an investment. And and I'll go one step further about silver and gold. If the economy collapses, and it looks like that might happen, silver and gold, I don't care how much you have. I don't care what kind of testing equipment you have, like Jack. I don't care about any of that. You are never going to be able to walk in a supermarket and buy anything with gold or silver. Never going to happen. Not in the Philippines, that's for sure. Because I could show you, I have a little, it's a cup holder. I got it, I don't know where I got it from. One of my customers, they served me tea in this little silver cup holder. Now, everyone agrees it's sterling silver, and it weighs about 3 ounces. In America, I could have sold this for $36. And that, the silver testers, they grind off a little piece. They agreed it was sterling silver. It says sterling silver on it. But in the Philippines, it has no value at all. Nothing. They will not buy that piece of junk. It's junk. It's basically, it's a paperweight. Now, they won't buy anything. They won't buy forks or knives or silverware or plates or platters or coffee pots. Nothing will they buy made out of silver in the Philippines. Nothing at all. Unless it's a coin minted before the year 1942. That's the only silver they buy. And then they buy it at spot value. So what would have been worth $20 in America, I have one silver dollar from 1908. A black woman named Cookie gave it to my mother the day I was born. My brother has one from 1921. Cookie bought one for my mother and said these will be worth a lot of money one day. Well, Cookie paid $1 for it in the year 1955, and now it's worth $12. So if you would have invested that dollar, it would probably be worth a lot more. But none of that matters. The only silver anyone in the Philippines will buy is a coin stamped prior to 1942. Now, gold, I don't know much about the price of gold in the Philippines. I do know that I saw, Daisy and I were in a mall a couple of years ago. And we saw this bracelet. I didn't buy it, but we saw this bracelet. It was listed at 30,000 pesos, or $600. Okay, so I asked the man how much it weighed. And he looked on the tag, and it said 4 grams, I think it was, or 4.2 grams. So the spot price of 14 karat gold was not much. It was not quite $300, I think it was. So 4 grams. What the value of the bracelet at the spot price, if I would have bought the bracelet from the man in the Altaurus Mall for $600 and then paid him for it and then asked him to buy it back from me, the value would have been somewhere around $60. So they were basically charging 10 price. So I had to go to one of those Palawan pawn shops to send money to somebody that day with Daisy, and they had gold there for sale. And I asked them what the spot price of 14 karat gold was for 4.2 grams, and they said it was like $65. So a bracelet that they are selling in Altaurus Mall for $600, you can buy it and walk down the block and sell it for 1/10 of what you pay for it. So I don't think that gold or silver is ever going to be worth anything. And if the economy collapses, I don't think you'll ever be able to sell it for even 1/5 or 1/8 of what you paid for it. So I don't think it's a good investment. What I do think is a good investment are, well, a lot of people are I am not a prepper, but a lot of people are preppers, and they say that buy rice and grains and inside dried storage containers will be worth a lot of money. In America, they say that certain types of munitions would be worth money, like the rounds that fit the most common types of guns. That's in America. So that kind of stuff, gasoline for your generator will be worth money, but gold and silver not so much. So anybody that's investing in gold and silver, how would you bring in the Philippines? How would you bring, let's say, something like this that does have a value of 36 US dollars in America, but no value in the Philippines? How would you sell this? You can't. So if you wanted to buy silver coins in the Philippines, they sell you a silver coin for $10, but if you took it down the block and tried to sell it, you get $2.50 for it. So silver and gold is not a good investment. I would imagine diesel fuel in general, foodstuffs. But how much food can you really store? But that's what the preppers say is worth money. I'm going to go back to the comments. And the world's biggest loser, Chi Corsairs, who lost like, I don't know how much she lost, but I'm thinking it's 10 or 12 kilos. She's looking good. She's looking good. Okay, Jack Thompson gives you a perfect example of what is not a good investment. Jack bought a new car today. The sticker price was $88,999. So that's $90,000. I gave them $100,000 just to be a nice guy. You're full of crap, Jack. Okay, Jack got me. You gave him a 12% tip, did you? That's baloney. So no money, no honey. Hello, Chi. Hello, no money, no honey from Warren H. Thanks, Warren. Ha ha ha. Jack. Element 79 is real gold. Okay. AU 39 is real gold. I have no idea what the nomenclature for gold is, Jack. I'll take your word for it. So Jack will tell you what gold is worth. And Jack knows, I didn't know this when I spoke with Jack on Skype this morning. Jack explained that yellow gold typically comes from America. And then there's white gold. And I don't know, Jack didn't mention that. But then there's orange gold. I think there was one more, red gold. But anyway, there's different kinds of gold that come from different parts of the world. Jack would know about that. But he explained all the different prices. Him and Warren and I were talking on Skype this morning. All right, so Warren, Jack Thompson. So Jack Thompson, a certain famous vlogger has a penchant for bashing women on YouTube. Fact. I have no idea. There's lots of people that bash women on YouTube. So that comment probably has some credibility to someone who knows who those people are. But, if I see someone bashing women, demeaning women constantly, like, I just went through this with the Daisy May and Michael Fazio relationship, how Daisy was being this and done that and said this and said that. I didn't appreciate it much at all, the things that were being said about Daisy May. And that's going to come up in a purview very soon as well. But I certainly am not going to watch another person bash women. And once I see that happens, I lose respect for the person. Now, in some cases, it's beneficial for me to watch and learn and then sometimes even record those things. So, but there are people that have been known for their whole lives that don't like women. They don't like women. They always have something bad to say about women. There are certain people on the internet. There are certain people that do that on a consistent basis, and it's noted and it's not appreciated at all. But Jack Jack must have somebody in mind. Jack Thompson, Warren H. I always choose to overpay for everything. I like to help people that are scamming me, and that's the topic of my next subject: scamming. Warren H. is scamming me big time. I gotta tell you, and I'm scamming Warren H. big time. I gotta tell you. I'll tell you how that worked out in my favor, because everyone knows this. Everyone knows this. I run a legitimate scam. I'm the only person on YouTube that has ever said and admitted that I run a legitimate scam. Now, Steve Montelli, in his worldly wisdom, has picked up on running and how to run a legitimate scam, because what I have always said is not words from me. This isn't me talking, okay? This is God. Not God, but the Son of God, and more specifically, Jesus. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. My name is in the Bible too, you know. And in the Bible, there are words, and there are words that are depicted in red letters. So Jesus, whatever Jesus said that was recorded from his mouth, those are in red letters. Those were his supposedly quoted words. So one of the quotes are, "It is better to give your money to Michael Fazio than for Michael Fazio to give his money to you." It's in the Bible. It's in the King James Version of the Bible, and that's because it's a Masonic thing. So you can put anybody's name in quotes. It is better to give, if Warren was a Mason, which he's not, because I already tested him, and if Jack was a Mason, which he's not, because I already tested him. If they were Masons, you could put their names in the description of, "It is better to give your money to Warren H. than for Warren H. to give you his money." But that's not true. See, what is true, it is better for Warren H. to give me money than it is for me to give him money. That's true. Then that's in the King James Version. Another famous quote by Jesus: "It is better for Michael Fazio to receive than for Michael Fazio to give." But one of the most famous all-time quotes ever stated publicly by any politician was President John F. Kennedy. And he was an Irish, you know, he told you the truth. And John F. Kennedy said, and I quote, John F. Kennedy said, "Ask not how much money you gave Michael Fazio yesterday, but ponder and think on how much money you will be giving Michael Fazio today and tomorrow." That's a quote by John F. Kennedy. So ask not how much money you have already given to Michael, what you will be giving to Michael Fazio in the future. And we're going to talk about Warren H's money transfers via SUPERChat to me, because I thought Warren was scamming me big time for the last couple of days. Like 3 days ago, 2 days ago, Warren sent me, 3 days ago, Warren sent $500 on SUPERChat. Now, Warren's agreement to send me $500 a day on SUPERChat for 6 days in a row. And then I get this, I read in the chat window this nonsense that on the second day, which would have been the $1,000 mark, on the second day, that PayPal shut him down from sending the money. So Warren scammed me already for $500. Okay, I got the first 500, but the second 500 I didn't get. So I made note of this, and I called up Warren. You said you're going to give me $3,000. I got 500. Where's the other 2,500? And Warren said that PayPal shut his bank account down. He couldn't send the money, but he fought the issue, and YouTube is going to note that donation. Thank you very much. Salamat. YouTube is going to note that donation on my super chat at the end of the month. So I did get $1,000, but and then what does he do the next day? I don't do a live stream yesterday on the 26th. I don't do a live stream. I don't get my money. Where's my money? Where's my money? That's what I want to know. So when I talked to Warren this morning on Skype, and Jack Thompson as my witness, right hand to God, Jesus, and Warren's YouTube channel will not allow him, or he won't let him super chat me $500. So we talked about that for a little while, and I said, look, if you want to scam me for the other $2,000, that's up to you. I don't care. I mean, you know, what's a couple of $1,000s among business partners? So Warren just talked to me about maybe we'll just transfer the money to our business account in the Philippines, because we're going to start doing big things here in the Philippines. And in fact, we're going to buy 2 Sea-Doo Pro jet skis with a 125-mile range, so that when Warren gets here, we'll be able to tour at least around the island of Bohol, anywhere we want. And if the ECQ unlocks itself, we'll be able to go to places like Balakasag. Well, we can go to Balakasag Island. That we can go to, but we'll be able to go to other smaller, less known islands, even uninhabited islands. And so the problem with that, and it all dates back to that we have to get a bunch of money transferred into my business account, that we're going to buy not 1, but 2 jet skis, Sea-Doo Pros, and you could look that up, or somebody could post the link. And I called up the jet ski sales office in Cebu, and they had a 2019, but somebody bought it. And actually, I saw a video of the guy who bought the jet ski about a week ago. So that's no longer available. So we might have to go with the 2020 models, and they're more expensive, and they're very expensive. But, you know, it's Warren's thought, want, will, and desire to buy 2 jet skis instead of 1, because everybody knows, remember the Chiclets commercials? Two jet skis are better than 1. Remember that commercial? Well, oh my God, we see SUPERChat and SUPERChat. Oh God. Oh, I got to put the glasses on. Jesus, I'm going to put you down. Put me down, Michael Fazio. Okay, Jesus, hold on a second. Holy macaroni. I'm going to go back to the comments, and then I'll talk to you about the jet skis. Jack and Warren are having some kind of banter back and forth. Jack, you should have seen the car sales guy when I gave him the extra 20,000 just to be a nice guy. I told him, share the wealth. One thing I will tell you is Warren is sharing the wealth. And I should tell you that Warren is in touch with one of the most well-known and successful cyber stalking lawyers, and money is no expense. So when Warren gets the information that he needs, and he's going to ask the lawyer if he can post the lawyer's link, because there are a lot of people on YouTube that are looking for a good cyber stalking lawyer. People like Big E, Cheat Corsairs, a lot of people. Let's just leave it at probably 5 at this point, 5 people. And well, they should, because now Warren is going to open up a new venue where not only do you not have to be actually living in the Philippines, but you can call cyber libel and the laws into play from somebody that's not living in the Philippines. So Warren's going to get all that information, and I'll do a live stream on that. That ought to make for an interesting topic. Jack Thompson says, Warren, I always choose to overpay for everything. I like to help people that are scamming me. Well, I mean, this is why Warren is sending me money. See, Warren tried to scam me out of $2,000, and now he's going to send the money anyway. So he scammed me, but he didn't scam me. Now I'm calling. I'm running a legitimate scam. Thank you very much. Warren, I always choose to overpay for everything. Jack Thompson, yeah, you got to get yourself scammed at least twice a day. Doesn't everyone overpay their private dealers? Everyone I know overpays always, especially when you go to buy furniture in New York City, and most furniture companies, the furniture comes from one of 5 companies. You always give them an extra 30 or 40%. This way, it ensures that next time somebody goes to buy furniture, there's furniture in the day. It's always good to give 25 or 30% or 50% or 100% more money to the people, especially if they are your personal salespersons for furniture, especially furniture salespeople. Or the guy back in New York, they had the Saturday morning vendors that would come to your house and they would solicit you to buy a vacuum cleaner. Well, if the Hoover vacuum cleaners, they were only about $600 with all the attachments. There's no reason for you to give the guy less than $1,000. $600 for the vacuum, and he gets his commission, and then another $400 so he could buy candy for the little bambinos. Jack Thompson, whenever I buy a pizza for $181, I'll give the shop $51 because I'm a nice guy. You guys are, I got to tell you, Warren is a nice guy. And he scammed me, but I scammed him. So we're almost even once I get that bank transfer. Precious metals investments are terrible investments, says Jack Thompson. That China manipulates the prices. That's true. Pinoy Ahoy. Welcome to the machine, Pinoy Ahoy. Pinoy Ahoy runs a channel. If you want a shout out, please go to Pinoy Ahoy's channel. He'll show your channel name and link on his channel. Hopefully you'll get some subscribers. That's one way of getting subscribers. A certain famous blogger has a pension. Oh, we talked about that. Rice is life, says Pinoy Ahoy. That's right. So if you were in the Philippines, now I don't really care for rice. I had rice last week. I bought 2 kilos. I'm pretty much done with rice for a long time. But I was walking home from a friend's house a couple of nights ago, and at night you can see that the lights are on in the house, and you could see in the house the doors were open. And there was a woman who had a little small sari store, and I'm not talking about a big sari store, just one of those little 10-foot sari. She probably had 25 bags of rice in her house, or that I could see. They were like 6 high, 2 deep, and 4 wide. And I'm going, why the hell would somebody buy all that rice? And then I'm thinking, she's probably figuring that rice is a good investment. Because I will tell you, where's that paper? Here it is. Hold on a second. I'm going to tell you what the price of rice went up to. It doesn't seem like much, but when you have most of the country of the Philippines out of work, a 10-liter bottle of distilled water went up 2% from 80 pesos, from 85 pesos to 87.45 pesos. A jar of peanut butter, Lily's peanut butter, 2 pounds, 6 ounces, went to 567 from 507 pesos. So it went up a little more than 10%. The pork, I can tell you the pork went up about 5% in the last 6 months, but that's not so much. But white rice, one quality golden white rice for 10 kilos. Now, I did buy 10 kilos, but I only kept 2 or 3 kilos of that. But white rice went from 440 pesos for 10 kilos to 500 pesos. It went up a little more than 10%. That's a lot. Royal Premium Spaghetti went up 3%. And a loaf of bread, this is crazy. A loaf of bread that was 55 pesos for a loaf of Gardenia Classic white bread. A loaf of bread went up to 65 pesos. I'll show you that loaf of bread. I'm going to show that to you because that's the bread I buy, but 65 pesos is the equivalent of 3 hours of wages for the Filipino that works in the grocery store. How can one loaf of bread cost 3 hours wages? What would that be in America? $75 for a loaf of bread or more? Maybe. Hold on. Give me 11 seconds because I'm going to get water, and I'll be back with the loaf of bread and cold water. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1011. Okay, so here's my water, but here's the bread. This is ridiculous. So the Gardenia brand bread, Gardenia bread classic, it went up 11% in the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So to 100 to 65 pesos. Here it is right here. Hold on. It's right at the top. So 65 pesos for this loaf of bread is almost $3, like $2.75. But this is the equivalent of 3 hours wages for the average store clerk or supermarket employee that stocks the shelves. How can they afford a loaf of bread? Well, they can't. And a lot of times when you're in anywhere, no matter where you are in the Philippines, when you stop to talk to some of the local people, they'll ask you to buy them pan, which is bread, because it's so expensive. It's out of their price range. Jack Thompson, just like the I brought this morning, I went to sell it today. There was no way I would get my money back. Okay, so Jack Thompson, gemstones are the worst. So are gold bracelets. You already lost half the value as soon as you leave the jewelry store. More than that. The bracelet that Daisy and I looked at, I guess it's going on 3 years now, it was $600, and they would have offered me like 3,300 pesos, $66 for the bracelet. Even if I walked out of the store, and even if I didn't walk out of the store, as soon as I bought it, if I wanted to sell it back to them, there's no returns. And if I wanted to sell it back, he'd give me $66. And I said, why would you only give me $66 for a brand new bracelet? And here was his answer. I swear to God. Well, we're just going to scrap it. It's scrap. I'm going to say, so I buy it new and I sell it back to you 10 minutes later. You're going to take it, hammer it with a hammer, and then you're going to melt it down and make new gold. He goes, yes, sir. I said, you're lying to me. You're lying. You're going to put the bracelet back on the little display. No, sir. We will send it back to have it melted down. What? So why would you take a bracelet that I paid $600 for and sell it back to you for $66? Why wouldn't you just sell it again? No, sir, we don't do that. Okay, maybe that's the rules here. I don't know. I don't believe it. We have Super Chat, Jack Thompson with Stupid Chat, because I have been scamming Jack big time on my Patreon account. In fact, what I did was some of the videos on my Patreon account I put up at, from the $1 mark, because we got a bunch of Tehick people. Tehick is cheap people. We got a couple of low-end Patreon members. Actually, just one, Warren H. He's a $1 Patreon member. So because I've been scamming him on YouTube and then the bank transfers, and now we're going to become business partners. He's got to get used. He's got to get used to giving big amounts of money to do big things with Michael Fazio. And some of those big things are going to involve draining your bank account and filling up my bank account. Now, Warren made a public display of his bank account a few weeks ago. And Warren's bank account, in my opinion, needs draining. I got to tell you. So we're friends. So who am I to deny Warren help? It's like when you have a pool party at the end of the year, you drain the water out of the pool. Well, let's just pretend that the pool is not a pool, but it's a bank account. And we're friends. And everybody goes over to Warren's house to help him dump all that money in the bank account. This is what a legitimate scam is. A legitimate scam is to say, man, I love you, man. I love you. So this is the kind of stuff that you can't just, this is the kind of thing that you can only pick up in certain places, like on my channel. Who on YouTube, besides Steve Montelli, runs a legitimate scam? Steve is now saying to people, you send me money, I put it in my bank account, you get nothing. That's a legitimate scam. But Steve, I give Steve permission to use my ideas because I like Steve Montelli. So Steve is finally seeing the light. The best way to get money from people is just to tell them, I want your money to put in my pocket, and for that you get nothing. Although Steve does give them something, he lets them say some bad words when they super chat him. I don't let that happen. I run a legitimate scam. Steve is running like one of those shady deals. Jack Thompson, let's start the fire. The super chatting has begun. The first, Jack Thompson, the first three letters of Jules is number 2s, baby. Jewelers, jewelry, jewelry. Money changers. Get that through your head. That is not an arbitrary word. That word goes all the way back to the Pharisees when Jesus turned over the tables. And as the money changers, the word jewelry, jewels, goes all the way back to when Jesus turned over the tables, right, Jesus? That's right, Michael. So Jesus said he agrees. He knows I know about this. And we call those the number 2s. Okay, so Warren is talking about Daisy May. Let me clean my glasses. We had about 7 blackouts yesterday, so I just want to let you know, the internet dies. That's what happened. Daisy, says Warren, is a sweet, innocent girl. and should be left out of all the chismes. But that never happened. That went on for, now it's on 18 months, 20 months. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some of that stuff known to people that are interested in knowing about that stuff. Warren says JFK was a good man. He was going to expose the lies of the CIA. He was. JFK gave the famous speech. If you Google JFK's famous speech, he talked about secret societies that work incognito. We won't talk about who they are, but they are, for the most part, the names that we have for them are names that associate themselves with those secret societies. But I am sure there are more secret societies by the elite of the secret society. Like, for instance, the Club of Rome. That's like, I think it's also the Club of 300. There's 300 of the world's most powerful, richest people that make the decisions for the world, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump, the decisions that Donald Trump makes are the decisions that they told him he could make that morning. And every morning he gets his marching orders. Or he might get a 1 week list. And that can change on any given day. But Donald Trump went from, what the hell did he say in the beginning? In the beginning, if you remember, Donald Trump said that masks will not be necessary. There will be no mandatory needles. There will be no mandatory needles. Not going to happen. Not on my watch, or something like that. Then he said that masks are mandatory, and then he said this is we are winning. When he said we're winning, we got the most cases in the world, the fastest. Donald Trump said there'd be no 5G, and now there's 5G everywhere in America. Being that they locked everybody down, they slammed up a tower everywhere they could. Donald Trump said he was going to build the wall. He never built the wall. And anybody that comes on my channel and says, don't bash your president, well, it wouldn't make a difference if Jack Thompson was president. He would know that he had to say certain things, or he would, he would be Clintonized. All right, that's different than kryptonite. You don't go against the powers that be. Even I have my limitations. I could tell you people things about certain people, and then I would be in trouble with the authorities. I'm not talking about the local authorities. I'm talking about YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, stuff like that. They don't want the truth on, but so they let me post my nonsensical videos to some degree, and some degree truthful videos. But Donald Trump said masks are not necessary. Now masks are mandatory. And now Donald Trump, now I don't know if he's going to do it or not, but he's going to bring the military in to force mandate vaccinations to everybody in America. But it's getting out of control, in my opinion, that if you live in Broward County, which was 50 miles from my house in Key Largo, and you live in a house by yourself, they want you to wear a mask in your house, on your property, behind your fence or gates, when you're in the house by yourself. So, I mean, do they want people talking on Skype to be on masks? I don't know. But Broward County just passed that ordinance. But what kind of... Now, and Broward County also encompasses a good portion of Miami, if not all of Miami. John Escape would know where Broward County starts and stops. Broward County goes from the top of the Upper Keys at the 18-mile stretch, Homestead Air Force Base. I think it goes 40 miles towards Miami, and then you have a different county. So, yeah, but Donald Trump said a lot of things that he changed his mind on, because his marching orders changed. So anybody that thinks that Donald Trump is in charge of something, he's not in charge of nothing. He didn't prosecute Mrs. Clinton. for crimes that he said she committed. He didn't build a wall, certainly not a big, beautiful wall. And now Donald Trump, yesterday, you can Google this, Google these words. Donald Trump said, quote this, we won, W-O-N, we won 2 beautiful wars. What kind of doublespeak is that kind of crap? Donald Trump said, we won 2 beautiful wars, the 2 most horrific wars that ever occurred on the flat earth, with millions and millions, hundreds of millions of people dying. Donald Trump just called them beautiful wars, but what he's doing is he's setting you up in case there's a World War III. He is setting you up. Donald Trump is setting you up. You people are some of the dumbest people I've ever met in the world. The people that are living today and in their 20s and 30s. He said, we won 2 beautiful wars. This is hyperbole. This is, if you had a bullshit button, now would be the time to click it. 2 beautiful wars. Over 200 million people died or were maimed and wounded and crippled for life, and those were beautiful wars. He's setting you up for the possibility of World War III with China. You people, you don't listen to the news. You can Google Donald Trump 2 beautiful wars, and you'll see what I just said is true. You have no idea what's going on. But I do. And if I say the truth, well, then my channel will get in trouble. Warren H. We didn't get to the trolls yet. That's in the title. I got to cover that. And then I got to go. I got something I got to do. I got to add some stuff to this little... I have this little thumb drive here. I don't know if you can see that. I have like 7 files on here with videos and timestamps. I got to add 2 more, and then I'm done. And then I'm either going to take care of that this week or next week, because everything turned to minutia in the city with certain people. Not bad minutia, just time schedules would change. Which makes no difference to me, because of the lockdowns, the times. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there it is, right there. This goes back a little bit to what cyber libel is. And cyber stalking also. So if you were to post pictures of a person's domicile, this is possible. It's not a guarantee, but we're working on it. If you post pictures of someone's domicile on the internet and it's a public building or whatever, probably not that much of a problem. But if you're involved in a legitimate legal dispute with a person, and you start posting pictures of their house and letting your trolls say whose house it is on your channel, that might, and I say might, and I say may possibly be cyber stalking. So we're going to find that out with the information that's on this drive. Now, another thing that you can't say on YouTube is you cannot accuse someone of a felony. You can't accuse somebody of a felony without actual proof. So if somebody said Fazio and used my name, someone said Fazio may have committed a murder, and you say, well, anything is possible. Well, you're not allowed to say that shit. I mean, I guess you could say it, but if you're involved in a legal dispute, as soon as the name Fazio appears on your channel, as soon as you hear Fazio, with 2 T's, with 2 Z's, with 2 T's and 2 Z's, anything like that, as soon as you see that shit on your channel, get rid of those people. Well, we're late for that now. Water under the bridge. Water off a duck's back. Too late for that. Anyway, so a guy comes on and says, Fazio may have committed murders in New York. And you go, oh, well, maybe, we don't know. We don't know. No, wrong answer. Wrong answer. Correct answer. Fazio may have committed murders in New York. Oh, yo, dude, get off my channel. Delete that comment. We know for a fact Fazio did not ever do anything like that. Or we can't say that, and we unequivocally deny what the troll said. But by going along with the comment, even though it's in the comments section, if I have a copy of something like that, I can bring that to the attention of a cyber stalking lawyer, cyber libel lawyer. Now, if it was just some random act of a name of a guy and no one knew who Fazio was, but everybody does, or another gentleman that is a very famous, much more famous than me, blogger, and you go along with the possibility that maybe, possibly, you don't, this guy says, oh, that guy over there, the lizard guy committed murder. And you go, well, maybe he did, but we'll have to find. No, wrong answer, right answer. Get off my channel. Don't talk about that man. Never say his name and the word murder. Never. But that didn't happen. Not day one. There was a lot of backpedaling on day two. So that's in here, but it's not part of, I only have it as part of character reference like that. But the other guy, now he's got that shit all locked up. He's got shit from 16 different directions now. So he also has, I don't know how he got the files. And they're not my files, but he got files too. You're not allowed to say that a guy committed murder. You're not allowed to say that shit. You hear somebody and the word murder, you deny it unequivocally. Get off my channel. But unless you do that, or if you egg them on, or allow the comments to continue, and you already made yourself aware that the comments were being one right after the other, like kind of like the pain from a hemorrhoid. And when the hemorrhoid is just throbbing comments on your page and you're just laughing at the hemorrhoidal type comments, that's bad. That's bad. And Fazio with two Z's, two T's, all that shit, not allowed. But we're going to have that, discussion in the near future. So Warren has 587 videos now that he's going to turn those, not all of them, but most of them, he's already